Hello everybody, welcome back to True Crime Metrix. How are we doing tonight? Good? Good, I'm glad. Oh, hey listen, this is our very first broadcast on the brand new Metrix Beast, rocking it in the studio today with the fantastic new machine here. Many thanks to everybody who contributed to that and helped make us make that happen to us. But please do, someone let me know if you can hear me, because we are just sorting out, is the echo, how's the echo? We've been playing with the echo. Not sure if the microphone, I did drop it a while back and it's got a dent in it, so you know, we're in a different building now, different Metrix studio, different Metrix machine, so we're kind of playing with the kit, playing with the sound quality, you know. Anyway, someone give me a thumbs up if the audio is coming through on this mic. That'd be good. That'd be great. And let me know how it feels. How does it sound? Does it sound good? Does it sound clear? We're going to do some more environmental sound cushioning as we move forward. It's been a busy couple of days, you know. We've been doing a lot of moving stuff, carrying stuff, packing stuff, taking it somewhere, and then unpacking it again. It's been quite a lot to do, but that's fine because we feel great about it. Wait till you see this place, guys. It's fantastic. Anyway, what are we looking at tonight? Oh, thank you, Teresa. Sounds great. Oh, you're being too kind. I know that there's a bit of an echo still, but you know, I was in the Chinese shop today. I don't know if that makes sense. Not where you eat, but the here at least you've got the big Chinese shops, which is like this great big warehouse, this great big Walmart, but everything is Tupperware related. You know, knockoff Tupperware, pool inflatables. I mean, you name it. I mean, you could probably name any product in the world and go in there and find a really shitty version of it. Anyway, they do have, you know, some stuff. It's like, well, that's going to be the same quality anyway. They had these big felt pads, like different colors. I don't know what they're supposed to be used for, but I was thinking maybe I could stick some of those on the wall for the sound cushioning, you know? Anyway, we're going to be playing with that as we move forward. But today we're looking at Josh Dubin and what Josh Dubin said to Charlie Adelson's jury. Who is Josh Dubin? Well, he is a jury consultant that the Adelson family paid $1 million under the notion that he would come in and somehow manage to ask questions and detect and select a jury in Charlie Adelson's trial, because obviously you have jury selection before each trial and the defense gets a chance to ask questions, the prosecution will get a chance to ask questions, and you can blackball. If someone's like, you don't want them on your jury, you can veto that person and say, but you only get so many strikes with that, right? And of course, part of the selection process will be the judge checking with the jury if they're appropriate to serve. If they can be struck for cause, that's not a strike for either side. But Josh Dubin was brought in to ask questions to Charlie Adelson's jury pool of about 100 and something, I think it was. And they narrow it down until they get that 12 plus the 4 reserves or whatever it is. So the Adelson family, on the advice of Daniel Rashbaum, I believe, elected to pay this guy that you can see on the picture there $1 million for basically the performance that we're going to watch right here. This is a $1 million show, ladies and gentlemen. For him. I wish it were for me. Coffees. Buy us 1 million coffees, please. I just reminded myself that I need to add that notification thing for the coffees. Yeah, so Josh Dubin comes in, asks questions, and hopefully we'll select a jury that will give Charlie Adelson not even a fair shake. I don't think that's what they wanted, right? At all. They wanted preferential treatment. I think they wanted a jury of rich white Miami dentists with vengeful family backgrounds. You know, that would have been the ideal jury. It wasn't 12 angry men. It was 12 angry, petulant Miami rich as fuck dentists with vendettas against, you know, ex-family members. That's what it was. That would have been the perfect jury. But sadly, there weren't enough members in the jury pool for that to be brought to trial. And it's amazing. Anyway, let's get into it, guys. Welcome everybody in chat. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. Our friend 17, there you are. Amy A. Acapella. Acapella's going to say some funny things tonight, folks. What's he said here? It's not even echo, it's reverb from an acoustically hard room. Acoustics aside, please hit the like button. You mean this bit of cardboard that I've got leaning up against the wall didn't take care of that? God. They say you can learn anything on YouTube. Put a bit of cardboard against the wall. Doesn't do anything. What about if I take it away? Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello. Okay, we'll leave the cardboard there for today. But tomorrow, we're going to buy some felt. And old egg boxes. I'm going to start collecting those. Apparently, those soak up the sound real nice. And apparently, Acapella is not just an expert in graphics, not just an expert in sardonic wit, but also an expert in sound terminologies, audio terminologies. Well, la-dee-da. Congratulations, Upin, on your new post. So where are we? I'm just getting orientated here. So we close this puppy down, close that puppy, and we play this puppy. It's easy enough. Oh no, no.
Defense may inquire at this time.
Thank you. May it please the court. Folks, I'm all for a laugh. I spoke to many of you.
Yeah, it looks like it, man. It looks like you're all for a laugh. If you're all for a laugh, then why do you look like you've just murdered someone? The only thing missing is you ditching a pair of blooded gloves in the courtroom trash can on your way in. Or did that happen? I'm all for a laugh. I'm all for a laugh. How's the audio on Mr. Dubin, guys? Does that need turning up a bit? Because I can make that happen. Let's get it right, guys. Let's get it right.
Defense may inquire at this time.
Thank you. May it please the court. Folks, I'm all for a laugh. I spoke.
I'm all for a laugh.
Spoke to many of you in the back, and I know that sometimes levity can break up a serious moment, but make no mistake.
All right, guys, give me feedback on the audio. A moderator, on his audio, Josh Dubin's audio. Do we need to turn that up? I'm not playing until I know. I'm not playing. Do you need to hear it again?
Defense may inquire at this time.
Thank you. May it please the court. Folks, I'm all for a laugh. I spoke to many of you in the back, and I know that sometimes levity can break up a serious moment, but make no mistake.
I'm going to turn it up a bit anyway. I think it's low. How do we do that? We'll be rolling real soon, guys. Don't worry. Don't worry. Ride in shotgun. There you are. I'm just going to turn it up a little bit because where is it? This one? We'll go 160%. Folks, I'm all for a laugh. I mean, you wouldn't want to spill his pint, would you? Like knock into him in the pub. You know? Turns around, gives you the murder stare, the murder glare. He's the kind of guy that only plays pool by prison rules.
The serious.
Mr. Dubin, the defense may inquire at this time.
Thank you. May it please the court. Folks, I'm all for a laugh. I spoke to many of you in the back, and I know that sometimes levity can break up a serious moment, but make no mistake, this is the serious of matters. There's no dispute about the fact that a man quite brutally lost his life. So I don't mean to alienate any of you or make you feel bad, but to this man, this is no laughing matter. And I'm not here to talk to you about powdered sugar on the faces or phony.
Is that what that shit is on your face, man? Powdered sugar? I was thinking it was some sort of, bandage or something, a rash, what, you know. He's been dipped in powdered sugar.
Liquor store robberies. This man has pled not guilty. And with that plea, he's saying, I didn't do it. And stands here accused of a crime that he did not commit. So I would ask you all to please hit the reset button. And let's be mindful of what is at stake here. And I know from speaking to each and every one of you that you are.
Can you imagine what Charlie Adelson's thinking right now? He's going, yes, this is it. This is what $1 million gets you. This is how we buy our way out of this. You know, look at him go, look at him go. I'm begging you, hit the reset. He's saying, I didn't do it. Charlie's like jumping up and down inside his body. He's like, yeah, fucking hit him, Josh Dubin. You can have another $1 million when this thing's over, Josh Dubin. We love you, Josh Dubin. But on the outside, he's got to maintain this, like, this is no laughing matter for Mr. Adelson. They show his face in a minute. Oh, here it is. It's on the fucking picture. Look at him. This is his somber. I'm so somber.
The one thing that has become so clear and that I've been so personally impressed by, my colleagues have, is how brutally honest each of you have been. It is not easy sitting in a room full of strangers that are poking and prodding and asking you questions, certainly those that are of a personal nature. I want to apologize in advance, and I want to tell each and every one of you that if I ask you anything that makes you even feel remotely uncomfortable, please
They all raised their hands immediately. We're uncomfortable right now, man. You're scaring us. Okay? We feel like we've all spilt your pint and we're not even in a bar. Okay? Where's Daniel Rashbaum? Bring him over and let him dance. Let him dance.
I extend this olive branch to you, that with the court's indulgence,
I extend this olive branch that I'm going to use to beat you all to death with.
you can be heard in private. And if I say something that makes you uncomfortable and you don't take me up on the offer to be heard in private, accept my apology in advance. I'm just doing my job. As I said, I hope you can.
Is being in private the same thing as, taking this outside? You want to take this outside with my fucking olive branch of justice?
Appreciate.
I bet he puts a notch on the olive branch for every kill, doesn't he? How many is he up to now? Fucking 150?
What's at stake here for Mr. Adelson? Is that fair? Okay. One thing we do agree on is that there is certainly bias can be a dirty four-letter word. We have violent agreement, if you will, on that. Certainly if it's about somebody's sexual preference, religious preference, ethnicity, religion, those are dirty, ugly biases. But we all have other biases, our value beliefs, our life experiences, the lens through which we've seen the world, all forms the basis.
This is all part of the sales pitch he gave the Adelsons, isn't it? And they were like, yeah, this guy's got it. I swear, man. Daniel Rashbaum and Josh Dubin haven't trained in law, excuse me, or jury selection. They've trained in those things with the sole purpose of selling to high-profile clients, right? This spiel that he's giving, I actually think he'd have probably been better placed as Charlie's trial attorney, rather than Daniel Rashbaum. I could actually see that being, well, anything would be more effective than that monkey.
Basis of how we're going to decide a set of facts. There are no wrong answers here. If you feel a certain way, and some of you have shared that about your faith, about prior experiences, please say it. Please say it. You heard the expression, if you see something, say something. Please say something. Nothing could be more important than you speaking up now. So with that being said, what is it? Somebody mentioned that they worked out. A couple of people were talking about the gyms they worked out.
The gym, the Miami gym, the Cuban gym. Hey, Amy, I turned up the microphone. My microphone. Is that better, Amy?
Planet Fitness has that logo, judgment-free zone. This is a judgment-free zone. Don't give me an answer just because you think I want it, or because you think His Honor or anyone else wants it. Okay? Is that fair? Now, there are some people, and this is perfectly acceptable, there are some people that look at someone in Mr. Adelson's position, charged with perhaps the most serious crimes.
The most serious crimes known to blah, blah, blah. Newly Jen, is that better? I turned it up a little. Hang on, let me see.
In our penal code.
Okay, I'm going to turn it up even more. Okay, all right. We'll just we'll put both up to 160 then. How about that? Thank you guys and thank you for the text, Amy, because sometimes it's difficult to catch it in the comments. Moderators always text WhatsApp. That's encrypted. Well, what about if I turn this up too? Hello, 1, 2, testing. This is our first broadcast on the new Metrix beast, guys, so excuse the teething problems. Is that louder? Is that sounding good? Let's try and play the video. Is it equal?
And say, you know what? Must have done something. Gotta be here for a reason.
Gotta be here for a reason. The reason we're here right now, chat, people in chat, is to tell me if the audio levels are equal. Thank you, Riding Shotgun. Riding Shotgun has spoken. End of discussion.
And I think that most people that have been accused, arrested, especially of something that happened 9 years ago, they must be guilty, or more likely guilty. If you feel that way, that is fine. So I'm going to ask you, as I've asked many of you over the past day and a half, to please think about it for a moment and search yourself. With the court's permission, I'm going to ask Mr. Adelson to stand.
You may stand, sir.
He said Adelston. Mr. Adelston. Mr. Adelstein.
Please take a good look at it.
Has he got his fucking hands in his pockets? Remember that Colin Griffith? I could not believe that kid. Ugh. Walking across to the jury. Well, not the jury. He didn't testify, did he? He was walking. He what was all that about? He said, I waive my right to be present when my 911 recording is played. If I was the judge, I'd be like, sit your ass down, son. You're listening to it.
And if there's any part of you that looks at him and says, you know what? If I'm being honest with myself, because he's been arrested, charged, other people may have been involved.
How can you be flushed and pale at the same time?
And he may have known them, that he must be guilty, or I lean toward guilt. You can sit, Charlie. Please, tell me if that's how you feel, even if it's a little bit that you're leaning that way. Dr. Rubino, do you feel that way at all? Oh, I thought thought you were going to say something. Mr. Gosling, do you feel that way, even a little bit?
This is on the original cut, guys. The jury aren't mic'd up, so the cameraman is switching to the front mic. Sometimes when they speak, it's a little bit annoying, and sometimes you can't hear it. So we'll see how we go.
All right. So if I could say it with stronger words, I would figure out a way to do it justice. I cannot thank you enough for having the candor that you just did in a room full of strangers. Thank you. So that's perfectly fine. Can you please tell me why you feel that way? Okay, and he's not going to be offended, and his feelings aren't going to be hurt. He wants this sort of honesty. So I appreciate your candor. Is it fair to say then, Mr. Gosling, that he starts out in your mind, you're leaning more toward guilt because he's here? Isn't that fair? All right, I appreciate your candor. Who agrees with Mr. Gosling? Even if you agree just a little bit.
You see, with the jury selection process, it is so easy to get off the jury, right? Yes, I can't get away from the idea that he's guilty. Or it would also be so easy to force your way onto the jury if you had those feelings but wanted to make sure, have your say or watch or whatever. You just go, no, I can give him a fair shake, and the judge goes, okay, you're in. All juries are going to be replaced by AI. We're just going to feed the fucking discovery into a machine and it will produce a verdict. I give it 2 years.
And that's perfectly.
Wow, riding shotgun. The new computer needs a name. I hadn't really thought much further beyond the beast. What would be a good name? Well, I was gonna say Josh Dubin, but we'll come back to it.
Acceptable, and I again, I thank you for your ability to be forthcoming about that and other matters, Mr. Weaver. Can't thank you enough. I appreciate it. Please, this is probably one of the more important questions I'm going to ask. Thank you. Thank you so much. Is it Miss Williams? All right. So tell. Okay, fair enough. If you know me even a little bit, you know I'm gonna ask you some more questions about that. And just tell me the best you can to put words to that feeling. Please tell me what it is, Ms. Williams. Okay. Understood. Is that almost hand raised or just moving your hand?
I disagree with the last two people, because of my personal experience. When I was a police officer, when I was 24, 25, 26, all the days, was that perhaps a chance to drive mentality. And I really went around in my head thinking, and all of my friends thought, something must have got you here.
Wow, that's a little rough, isn't it? But they're only short questions, and then Josh Dubin, even if we can't really hear it, Josh Dubin gives us the context most of the time. Jessica, how do I like it? The Metrix Beast, it's fantastic, Jessica. It's like, you know what it's like? It's like jumping into a brand new Cadillac after driving across the country in a Ford Fiesta. It's better than a Cadillac. It's a Bugatti Veyron. Yes, this is the Bugatti Veyron. I mean, it's the best. It's the best in the world. Apparently, that's what the salesman told me. You know, that's how Elvis lost all his money. He was running around. Well, not running around. He'd be driving around. The car. He'd say to the driver, "Stop the car." He'd roll down the window, point at a stranger on the street, and say, "Hey, brand new Cadillac." He was just handing them out. You know, it wasn't the sandwich that killed him. It was the stress.
Until the day that I was accused of something I didn't do. And I wound up with quote unquote guns pointed at me, being prosecuted for it, and federal affairs with it. And it's the most horrible feeling in the world. And it destroyed my life. You could go down my line of friends, and as you walk down the line, see people jump on this side or that side. People that decided, you know what, you must be dead. People, some of them good friends, what I thought were good friends. Some people that were just kind of not such good friends, just people I knew at work, where people put their arm around me and said, I'm on your side. But getting back to the point.
No, you can keep going.
Yeah, keep going. We love this. We want 12 of you. You were falsely accused and it ruined your life, and now you have totally sympathy for anyone who's facing trial? Yes, keep going. Infect the pool. Piss in the pool. Piss in the pool with your story.
My mentality completely about, you must have done something that got you in that seat. And honestly, for a long time, I was like, okay, now I'm on the other side. Now I don't believe the police, I don't believe the prosecutor. But that was back in 1996, 97. And now as a person that's just a little wiser, I'm looking for what the proof is, what the facts are. I went from being, yeah, you must have done something wrong, no, I don't feel it anymore.
No, I can't, thank you.
He's a New Yorker as well, isn't he? I went from, you must have done something wrong. You must have done something wrong. You must have boiled the coffee too hot.
Y'all enough. Having done this for a while, just to be able to have this kind of report, this honest report, is really the way the system should work.
This is the way the system. Our obvious plant has been a complete success. They couldn't even find someone local. They brought in a New Yorker. He's probably some fucking desperate, actor from off Broadway. They gave him $50 and a fucking gift card for the Red Lobster, and he was in. Yeah, I'll come down to Tallahassee and try and piss in your pool.
I'm gonna go down the line. It's such a critical question, and we have 4 of you who have shared your views on it. So I'm gonna ask you all again. I'm gonna stick with Mr. Goslin and to some extent Mr. Weaver's point of view. Who else feels like, if you really search yourselves, sorry, I'm a wanderer, but I need to stay at the lectern because I don't want to suffer the court's wrath. How many of you feel even...
Was that intentional? I'm a wanderer, but I need to stay at the lectern because I don't want to suffer the court's wrath. That fucking wrathful court. They're so wrathful, that court. Suffer the wrath of the court. I mean, it's just a little suggestive, isn't it? Suggestive of the court being unreasonable, right? Not laid back enough to let him walk around. I think that was intentional. Interesting.
a little bit that based on, because some of you have read about the case, some of you have listened to some things about the case, some of you have seen things on TV, heard others discuss it.
Also not to watch. Some of you have read blog posts. Don't read. There's been radio podcasts, also not to listen. Don't read. The advice of my attorney.
Is there anyone else that feels like, I'm leaning, I hear you about the presumption of innocence, I know that's what the law says I'm supposed to do, but the way my mind operates is just a little bit different. That's fine. You're not going to get in trouble for that. This, my names aren't on my sheet. Ms. Parker? Okay. Do you feel that way about Mr. Adelson?
Of Mr. Adelson, I believe everybody deserves a shot. I believe themselves innocent. They're innocent before they're proven guilty, until they're proven guilty. So,
Forgive me for seizing on something you said, but does anyone know what I might quarrel with about? Yes, Mr. King. Does he? All right. These concepts, these ideals that we hold ourselves to as a society and hopefully individually, they only have meaning if each of you breathe life into them. So we could walk around kidding ourselves about these things unless we really believe them. So I'm hearing these things, but Ms. Brinkley, do you believe that Mr. Adelson coming into the room, if you really search yourself, do you feel like must have done it, must have been involved somehow?
Well, I can't give a yes or no to that because I haven't heard the case.
Okay.
Now, if I do become a jury and I hear the case, then I can make my, talk to the other jurors about it, and we go from there, but I can't answer that because I can't, by looking at him, I can't say, well, he's guilty or he's not guilty.
Forget about looking at him.
Okay.
Just based on the fact that he's been arrested and charged.
I still can't say that he's guilty or not guilty.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you definitely don't look at him because he looks guilty as fuck.
I appreciate it. What can you say?
I have to listen to the case. If I become a juror, I have to listen to the case.
Now I'd ask you to take a look at him. What do you see over there? What is he now?
Well, I see a young man who's sitting in here, looking at the possible potential of jurors here, and
It was a poorly articulated question. If you don't
Hang on.
look across this
Whoa.
room,
I can't
What was the poorly articulated question?
listen to the case.
now I'd ask you to take a look at him. What do you see over there? What is he now?
Well, I see a young man who's sitting in here, looking
What is he now?
at the possible potential of jurors here, and
It was a poorly articulated question. If you don't look across this room,
I can't say anything.
no, let me get my question out.
Okay, go ahead.
If you don't look across this room and say, I see an innocent man sitting there, I want you to raise your hand, please. Talking to all of you now.
Oh, why? Oh, I can see.
How many, so,
That's interesting, isn't it? What's that? NLP influence or what? If you don't say he's innocent before you've even heard the trial, you're not coming to the jury. Of course, he's referencing the innocent until proven guilty thing. You should see him as innocent. But that's just not how the world works, you know? I mean, you can say he's innocent until proven guilty and still see a guilty man. I mean, I don't think that's what the law, for want of a better word, is saying when it says a defendant is innocent until proven guilty. It's perceived innocent anyway. A defendant, the presumption of innocence right? Presumed innocent, not perceived. Presumed. Until, you know, and George is going to be proving him guilty, so don't worry about it.
Yes, Miss Parker.
Apparently he was innocent to me. I haven't heard anything that was in dangerous.
Who looks across the room, though, and says he's been charged, arrested? I look across the room and I don't see an innocent man. I see someone that has got a whole bunch of problems ahead of him. Anyone feel that way a little bit? Sorry, I'm...
No, I really think you have to be
Okay.
alive to see it.
And how... How does it, how, have you experienced that at all in your life?
In my line of work, I just, being that people don't really know a lot of staff and just making assumptions all the time about a situation that you don't know anything about. So you already make an assumption before you even hear the details. And that's, quite frankly, that's unfair to the person in this room is kind of sliding on their part. You're not hearing the whole story. You have something to do with that. And so just looking at someone across the room saying they're guilty, it doesn't mean that you walking in the room and sitting out of the same TV screen. You know what the person is talking about? If you don't know anything about it, just somebody just sitting there and support.
Thank you for your candor, Ms. Moore. Is there anyone that disagrees?
Just gonna run a little test here, guys. Oh no, hang on. First we've got to do this. Make it big. Then we test. Oh shit, no. What did I do that for? Sorry. Now we test.
Fucking A, bro. I'm gonna fucking fuck up whoever the fuck you fucking with me.
Love it. Okay.
With what Ms. Moore said? Anyone? This is the last time I'm going to ask it because I don't want to go through each and every one of you. But Mr. Fry, do you feel like there must be something to it because he's been charged, arrested? Do you believe that? All right. I don't think it's any bolt of lightning to any of you at this point. Judging by the camera to your left and to my right, and as His Honor told you, that this case has received quite a bit of media attention. And this is totally fine if you feel that way. Any of you feel like you'd be a little bit reluctant to go back into the community, to go back to work, to face your friends, your significant other, anyone close to you, and say, you know what? I don't think the prosecutors met their burden, and I don't think that I could have found him guilty and vote not guilty if they don't meet their burden. Does anybody have even a little bit of reluctance there? That they would feel like, I don't want people to think I was part of a jury that acquitted Charlie Adelson? Mr. Jordan, would that be a concern to you?
No, I don't know.
All right. Who knows who on this panel knows someone that knows about this case? Okay. Mr. Brown. Okay. So I saw you, Dr. Rubino. I'm going to come to you in a moment. Who else, just by show of hands, is familiar with others that know about the case? So it's also Ms. Bell? All right. So starting with you, Mr. Brown, would you be reluctant if you found that the state didn't meet their burden to go back and face your significant other, anyone, and say, I quitted Charlie Adelson? Why not? How about you, Ms. Strong? All right. Ms. Bell? What about you, Mr. Fisher? You have friends in law enforcement, right? All right. Your friend, go ahead. Your friend, would you have any reluctance? Would you hesitate even a little bit if you felt like the prosecution didn't meet their burden to face your friends in law enforcement? Does anyone disagree? Does anyone feel like there'd be too much pressure? Or they'd be reluctant? Anyone at all? Ms. Walker? Mr. Brazos? You were a juror before you were foreman, right? All right. You were kind of in charge of keeping the trains on the tracks, right? Making sure that people were able to say their piece. Fair enough. Right? There was a verdict in that case. And you feel like that experience would have any impact on you sitting as a juror in this case?
Hey, has anybody spotted a question yet that's worth $1 million fucking dollars? You were keeping the trains on the tracks, were you? Yeah? And do you think that that experience affected your judgment in this case? Oh, God. What a game to get into, huh? I think we should all become jury consultants. What a brilliant business model. Yeah, we're going to get a desperate man, rich, desperate man, life sentence on the line, life on the line. You know, will literally spend every penny he has with us just to even have the idea that it will help his bid for freedom. And if we don't succeed, he gets life in prison anyway. So, you know, we're in the clear.
Why not? Okay. Before I move on, Mr. King, anything to tell me? You, I don't know, we keep making eye contact. I figured I'd call on you now. There wasn't anything specific. You're confident that you could look across the room, and not just when the trial starts, But through the trial, I mean, I'm not going to instruct you on the law. I wouldn't dare. His Honor is going to instruct you on the law. And if I'm wrong on it, don't hold it against Mr. Adelson. But I have an...
Don't hold anything against Mr. Adelstein. Mr. Adelstein has not been convicted of anything. He's awaiting trial for alleged crimes. Mr. Adelstein looks like an innocent man.
inkling I might be right on this part. What if you were to learn...
You'd think for $1 million fucking dollars he'd get your name right, yeah?
that the presumption of innocence is like a thread that you grab onto right now and you pull it all the way through the 2 or 3 weeks of this trial. In other words, that every time you look across the room, that you presume Mr. Adelson innocent. That's not an easy thing. You've heard of the expression innocent until proven guilty? Let me modify that. Innocent unless proven guilty.
Well, who gave you the right? The founding fathers fucking laid this shit down on paper, man. Why are you modifying the law? Why don't you just keep going and say, well, where could he go with that, you know? Let me modify the law. I want to be the judge.
Until sounds like an eventuality. What's the difference between what I just said? Innocent until proven guilty versus innocent unless proven guilty, Miss Spades. Okay, but I wanted Miss Spades to answer it. That's all right. I looked in your direction. And what does unless mean? Okay. Can you appreciate the point I'm making? Does anyone...
I don't think anyone actually got the point he was making. Of course, the point that he's making, innocent until proven guilty, there's a suggestive assumption that that will happen, right? I mean, if you want to get semantic about it, I don't believe it's that technical. You know, I don't think we need to get that technical about it. Innocent unless proven guilty.
Disagree?
Like, if he's not, like, innocent unless proven guilty means if the state don't meet their burden, he still remains innocent and must be found innocent. But so does the other way as well. He's just being fucking, pedantic.
All right. I'm going to move on to a different subject.
It's filler. It's just filler for his $1 million. Donna Adelson's watching this right now. Well, not right now, but as it was happening live, just jumping up and down. Yes, we got it. We got the best guy in the world. I've read about him. He's the best.
I think that Ms. Williams mentioned it. How many of you, by a show of hands, have heard of people being exonerated for crimes that they did not commit? By a show of hands. And by my count, that's all of you except for one. That's all of you. Except for almost one. All right. We hear about these stories when? When do we hear about those stories, Mr. Conyers?
After the trial. After the trial.
After the trial. After what?
After years of incarceration.
All right. All right. So they're nice stories, right? But they aren't nice for the person that went through it. So I've asked you, do you feel like, is there anyone that doesn't think they can keep that in mind throughout the trial? So in other words, once that happens, it's too late. That's how serious this is. Does anybody think, you know what, I'm going to have a difficult time as witness after witness comes in and testifies during the prosecution's case? I might have a tough time looking at Mr. Adelson and continuing to presume him innocent. Please, there's got to be someone amongst you, because we've had people come back and tell us that they've read about the case, and when you're hearing one side, it can have an effect on you, right? Does anyone think that they might have a difficult time continuing to remind themselves throughout that I have to presume him innocent? Unless. Anyone feel they would have a difficult time with that? Who haven't I called on? Can you show me? I've called on everyone? Didn't feel like it. Who might have a difficult time with that? Miss Brinkley, do you feel like you'd be able to do that?
Oh, hi, Murder. Murder by Maestro says his invoice is just a copy-paste of his website. Well, we know how fucking Charlie Adelson feels about copy-paste, right? It was copy-paste! Dateline! Georgia Kappelman had help with her PowerPoint slides. You could tell. You could totally tell. So, sorry to interrupt. His invoice is just a copy-paste of his website. It's proper amateur hour. He's between $850 an hour and $1,200 an hour, depending if he is just making visual aids or attending court. Yeah. Just the money that gets thrown around for this, huh? And it just goes up. It's not coming back down, is it?
Will you be able to continually look over at Mr. Adelson throughout the trial, even as the prosecution brings in witness after witness?
Murder by Maestro says, where did you find this TCM? I could only find the one where the volume totally cuts out. Unbelievably difficult, you know. Basically, sources, I spoke to the ketchup who sent me to the mustard, and, it was tough. I'll just say we got there in the end. No, it was the Tallahassee Democrat direct. Got in touch with those guys. They were actually quite nice about it.
Continue to say, I hear you, but I have to view him as an innocent man until I hear the instructions on the law, and unless, after I deliberate with my fellow jurors, unless I find him guilty beyond a reasonable doubt.
Once again, I have to listen to the case. I can't be innocent or guilty. When I come in here, I have to listen to the case. I'm not going to look at him and say he's innocent until proven guilty. I don't know. I have to listen to the case.
Fair enough. I appreciate your candor. Does anyone agree? That was as honest as you can get. She said, I can't look at him and presume him innocent. That's okay. That's fine. Who agrees with that? Who agrees that I'm not going to presume one way or another? I don't care what the law says. Anyone else agree with Ms. Brinkley? Mr. Fry? Okay. Does anyone agree even a little bit? Okay. How many of you have heard of Nancy Grace? All right. How many of you are a fan of her shows? Beyond?
Judge Everett raises both his arms.
Okay. Who else? Can you just keep your hands up just for a moment? How many of you have watched her shows? Miss Gardner? Have you watched her shows? Okay. And what was her point of view? Typically.
She's always very firm. Her beliefs are always very clear.
And what are those beliefs usually clear about?
I mean, it just depends on what's going on, what she's reporting.
Thank you. Ms. Strawn, what are her beliefs typically? How many of you agree that have seen her shows that that's how she sort of... So tell me, and this is fine if you feel this way, whether you find her entertaining or whether you agree with her. How many of you are a fan? A regular watcher? Okay.
That's a good point, actually. I think as this isn't publicly available anywhere, I should do a real nice job on the audio, see if we can get those jurors' questions to pop, to really pop. And then we'll put it up without commentary, because, you know, some people like it without the commentary.
For the folks that work for the state, for a municipality, are there any of you that feel, and there were several of you, that either work for the state or have family?
By the way, guys, how is the lip sync? Because for me, in the streaming software, it's a little bit out, but it does that sometimes with the streaming software. Does it look good lip sync on the what you're seeing?
Family members that do. Do any of you feel like some simpatico, if you will, some familiarity with the prosecution because they too work for the state? Who works for the state? Okay, so I'm going to start with Ms. Walker. Remind me again.
I was an investor for 31 years.
Okay. Different area.
It was all workers' compensation.
Okay. Any particular allegiance with prosecutors here because they too work for the state? I believe Ms. Gardner works for the state, yeah? Okay. Remind me of where you work at the state again?
Agency volunteer administration.
Okay. And do you feel like when you look at the prosecutors, any bit of, you know, we're all in the same gang kind of thing? Sure?
Yeah.
Not a little bit?
No.
All right. Who else? Okay. Do you understand why this might be a concern for me, Dr. Rubino? Okay, why?
Because if we're inherently biasing ourselves towards a certain group, we might also bias ourselves towards their opinions.
Yes. Spoken like a true scientist. Well, preaching to the converted. I'm just a nerd for different things. Mr. Fry? Oh, sorry. Fry, Fisher, separated by a column. All right. Now you got that in my head.
No allegiances.
Okay. All right. Anyone feel that way that have family members that work for the state? So Dr. Rubino mentioned something that I'd like you all to consider. This notion of inherent bias. And it's something to think about because I have a little bit of ways to go. It's something to think about overnight. If there's anything that I asked you about that you reconsider to yourself, not on the internet, not to a friend or to no one but yourself, please let me know first thing in the morning. had that happen where someone comes back the next day and says, I thought about it, and I kind of do think I might be starting off with Mr. Adelson a little behind, or I might have allegiance to the prosecutors because they work for the state. How many of you prior to today heard of the talented prosecutor, Ms. Kappelman? Okay. Mr. Brown? Okay. How would you heard of her? Oh, the baseball, Little League. Come on, I was looking for someone that. Okay. Had anyone else heard of Mrs. Kappelman before today? No? Okay. How many of you have had pleasant experiences with law enforcement? Okay. I'm going to start with Ms. Parker. Tell me about that.
Well, I used to be president of the Broward County Managers Coalition, and we worked with the Broward County Sheriff's Department.
Was that on Federal Highway or on Sunrise Boulevard? Is that where you were? Well, was it on Sunrise past Federal Highway?
It was on Deerfield, both between Deerfield.
Okay.
But this has been many years back.
Okay.
The sheriff's department would work with us in conjunction with whatever we were trying to address, probably problems in the area, break-ins, robberies, evictions, a lot of different things. And they were always very helpful, and they'd come to the meetings and.
Okay. I appreciate you sharing that. Mr. King.
Just Deputy Eldridge, who's made the whole past day and a half pleasant.
Now, I should have known better than to ask the question without a specific caveat for Deputy Eldridge, because I, too, love the man. And I mean that, but before you met the fine deputy. So in other words, here's what I mean by it. Maybe this will help me get a little more specific. Whether it was when you were pulled over and, the officer let you off, or whether it was because I know that there was a few people who had homes were burglarized, or, you needed help with directions, whatever the case may be. How many of you walked away and said, that was a fine police officer? In any
Fucking A,
situation.
bro. I'm gonna
Okay.
fucking
All right.
fuck up where the fuck you fucking with me.
So tell me about that. Now I'm going to get it right. Mr. Fisher.
Yeah, thanks, Riding Shotgun. Soap will feel so much more important with some headphones and a huge soundboard. How about that, Soap? What do you think about the new studio, Soap? You've got your own room, and you can decorate. Paint any color you like. But not a chocolate color, because we wouldn't be able to see you. She's like, this is great. I'm going to do the whole thing in brown. You need some brown and brown insurance, Soap.
I have a few entirely.
Thanks again, Ryden, for the coffees on buymeacoffee.com/True Crime Metrix. Great way to support the channel. Thank you, Ryden.
In what capacity?
Either being, pulled over for like a tail light out or something like that. Nothing serious or anything. I don't think I've ever had a real bad experience per se.
Okay.
To my recollection,
Who else? Mr. Braza? don't want to talk about those. I only want to talk about the times where you walked away feeling like this person really helped me and made a difference in my life. Just by a show of hands. Now, all right, perfect. So, Ms. Strawn, tell us a little about that. You had a double who? Oh, double doozy. Were you conducting surveillance or just? Oh.
Son, that was the only time he got on the road.
All right.
So we're going to get something to eat and come around the curve and see how it's something to do. We're going to get you out of there.
Okay.
But that would have really hurt.
Ms. Daigle, I think you raised your hand as well, or no?
Well, I mean, just whatever.
Now, I want to call you James Jordan, but it's Jordan James, right? All right. Mr. James, did I hear you right? Did you say your dad was a sheriff? At the Jacksonville Sheriff? And you're not raising your hand?
No, because, it always does. Every occupation is.
Okay. So for the folks here that have had, I know that you raised your hand as well, Ms. Moore. Was it in relation to anything other than like a traffic stop? Oh, I'm sorry. I hate thinking about that part. Okay, so I'm going to put this question to Ms. Strawn and Ms. Moore. But I want you all to act like I'm asking you all right? But you were the two that mentioned, particular instances, you with the help with, the unfortunate event when somebody passes, and you with the double doozy. There
The double doozy.
there to be law enforcement that will take the stand here. And I know that my colleague on the other side asked you some version of this question, which was that how many of you...
I expect that there will be law enforcement that will take the stand here. Well, thank God we paid $1 million to Josh Dubin, because we had no idea. What the fuck? It's a murder trial. I mean, that's special. That's not part of his presentation. All of his presentation is just waffle, right? I mean, there's nothing here. Apart from that, maybe that bit at the beginning where he was kind of heated, right? He was like, he's saying, I didn't do it. That was song and dance. I mean, I'm waiting for something. I'm literally waiting.
Would give them any more or less weight. I'm asking you, do you think in light of your positive experiences with law enforcement that, I know that Mr. Gosling was extremely candid about this, and he said, yeah, hold them to a higher standard. And, I think that they're more credible than an ordinary witness in words or substance. Any of you think that? In other words, when a law enforcement officer takes a stand, that you'll look at them as being more credible, more believable, more reliable than another witness. How many of you feel that way? I know we already got you, Mr. Gosling, and Mr. Weaver. How many of you feel that way? No? Why not, Ms. Moore?
The reason why I said I wouldn't raise my hand is because I think they're individual person and you have to look at people on an individual basis. And I don't, I still have to see the person for who they are. And so I don't, well, if I give you an award, there's
Okay. Does anyone, I know I have some points of view in the front row that may or may not be from someone that played for the Reds and then went to the Mariners and went to the Yankees. And from Mr. Yeah, my son's a big fan. And from Mr. Gosling. Did I have that right? All right. I think you had a good season. Does anybody feel that, someone gets on the stand and they're wearing a uniform or they're part of the Leon County Sheriff's Office, that they must be more believable? All right. How many of you have heard of this notion of something called groupthink? All right, groupthink. Can can the good doctor explain?
If I recall, groupthink is the idea of people jumping on one person's ideas and following up behind that. So lack of independent thinking, humans tend to conglomerate around ideas. Is how we develop complete positions on and then complete itself over time.
Okay. Can you give me an example, Dr. Rubino, of how and when groupthink can be a dangerous thing?
I think anytime a person is in a position of leadership and they're trying to manipulate a crowd to black the individuals that they're thinking needed to assess a position. We've tried an example of when somebody is trying to move people in one direction. It sounds nefarious, but it can be as simple as your coach and you need to get your players to all believe in the same mission. So it's kind of structured into leadership.
So let me, Dr. Rubino, thank you. I might reference you again when I need to articulate something better than I know I'm capable of. There couldn't have been a better explanation, I don't think. So what I'm getting at here is, how many of you think it's possible, or let me switch it, how many of you think it's impossible for a group of well-intentioned people to take the witness stand, all for one reason or another believing one story, but they all got it wrong? Does anyone believe that's impossible? Do you follow my question? Who's confused about my question? Okay, only one. That's not bad. What do you think I'm getting at, Ms. Williams? So in other words, it's too late. The hour is late and your attention blows my mind. The fact that you're all still making eye contact and with me. So let me just get right to the point on this question. How many of you think it's impossible for one after another after?
I guess we can infer from that he thinks he's gone on for an acceptable amount of time to charge $1 million. The hour is late. I'm amazed that all of you can still keep eye contact. The hour is so late.
Another witness after witness after witness to come in here and all tell you a story that points in their minds to this man's guilt. Do you think it's impossible for that to happen and then for all to be wrong? Why not, Dr. Rubino? Why is it possible that they're all telling the same story or have a certain point of view, and yet they could all be wrong?
they could spend a lot of time talking to each other. They can have shared values, they could have shared a lot of information back and forth between each other. They could have a shared perspective on the world that assumes a certain level of guilt or innocence.
Thank you. Ms. Strawn? Or let me go to Mr. Fisher.
The false memory fallacy.
Okay, tell us what the false memory fallacy is.
False memory is basically if you're asking somebody if the perpetrator, what shirt were they wearing? Was it a green shirt? And later there and say, what about the red shirt that they were wearing? You can slightly alter the way they so the point where they say, yeah, we were wearing a red shirt.
How many of you say, you know what, Dubin's crazy? No way that this happened. No way that so many people all think the same thing and have it all wrong. And
I don't think Dubin's crazy. I mean, charlatan comes to mind. What else could we call him? You know what comes to my mind? Like one of those guys that will sell carpets to tourists in Istanbul. You know, if we put him in if we took the suit off and we put him in a, I forget what they're called. You know, the kind of traditional robes, and you know, had him sell a carpet to a tourist. You know, facially, it wouldn't seem out of place to me whatsoever.
any of you feel that way? I know Mr. Gosling raised his hand earlier. Do any of you think that? Think that's possible? You all leave open the possibility that they all think a certain way, whether it's groupthink or the false memory fallacy, and they just got it wrong. Anyone disagree with that? All right. Yes.
Help me on this one.
Yes. Sure. If I can, I'll try.
So, if there's 12 people that saying the same thing and agreeing on the same thing, so, oh my God. So if there's 12 people that
I think she's about to ask, do we need to deliberate if we all just vote guilty? Is that what's coming?
is saying the same thing and they saying that he's guilty, you saying, your question is to us, do we believe the 12?
No, I'm asking something different.
Okay,
All right. And here's, I'm going to give you a hypothetical that doesn't involve a crime.
okay.
I'm not going to make anybody the perpetrator or my
Right,
co-conspirator.
okay.
All right. All right. If 10 people get up here and say, I see a microphone in that, if 12 people get on the stand and say, I'm looking at Josh Dubin and he is not holding a microphone in his hand. But what do you see?
They're holding a microphone.
You just exercised free will, didn't you? You're not going to believe the 12 people. You're going to believe
What
you
I
said.
see, yes.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
All right. Does anyone feel like no? I mean,
Another clever little word game, yeah? This is, you just exercised free will, didn't you? Because you went against the otherwise unanimous vote. You know, there's a little congratulations there. Like, hey, that's great, you exercised free will. And there's also this thing of, if you don't go against everyone else, you're not exercising free will. So it's a subtle little thing to create a resistance to agreeing with everyone, right? I mean, that really must, if he actually did, if we're to assume, and we'll give him the benefit of the doubt and assume that he did actually review the state's case, the amount of evidence and so on, he wouldn't have been realistically looking to select a jury of 12 people that are going to vote innocent, right? His job really just needs to get one of them to hang. So that little clever little word game question there. If I'm holding this microphone and 12 of your peers say Josh Dubin is not holding a microphone, what are you going to say? You're holding a microphone? Well, you just exercised free will, didn't you? And it's got this little kind of bounce thing in the intonation there, right? It's all very, ooh, yeah, I did. It's almost like what a driving instructor says to congratulate you on doing something really fucking simple. Oh, you just started on a hill, hey? How's that parallel parking? Yeah. What were we saying? Yeah, that little thing there. It's, you know, he's created an emotional reward, right? Little emotional, little nugget for her to take home. Hey, when I went against everyone else in that bullshit example, I felt a little bit better inside. You know, the subconscious, if this guy knows anything, he's really up here talking to their subconscious. And I've wondered if there's a little bit of neuro-linguistic programming going on here, right? There probably surely is. If there's not, there fucking should be. It's not overt enough to really identify. But maybe that's what's up with his demeanor as well. If someone's demeanor makes you think, what the fuck is up with this guy? You're kind of locked in, right? You're kind of locked in. You're not going to dream off because you're like, what is up with this guy? And you could say, well, if you're thinking that, then you might not be listening to what he's saying. But that's probably okay in this situation because he's not saying anything. There's nothing to learn. He's learning about them. Interesting.
Mr. Weaver points it out, they may know a little bit better. They were trained to be at this elite level. You're all the ones that are going to be here deciding.
I think we deserve to see that little bit again. Let's just, how far back was it? Oh, there. There, he's holding the microphone.
Anyone disagree with that? All right. Yes.
Help me understand.
Yes. Sure. If I can, I'll try.
So if there's 12 people that saying the same thing and agreeing on the same thing, so, oh my God. So if there's 12 people that is saying the same thing and they're saying that he's guilty, you saying, your question is to us, do we believe the 12?
No, I'm asking something different.
Okay.
All right. And here's, I'm going to give you a hypothetical that doesn't involve a crime.
Okay.
I'm not going to make anybody the perpetrator or my
Right,
co-conspirator.
okay. Help me
All right. All right. If 10 people get up here and say, I see a microphone in that, excuse me, it's the way you do it. If 12 people get on the stand and say, I'm looking at Josh Dubin and he is not holding a microphone in his hand. But what do you see?
They're holding a microphone.
You just exercised free will, didn't you? You're not going to believe the 12 people. You're going to believe
What
you
I
said.
see, yes.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah, that's what it is, isn't it? You know, little encouragement to go against your peers. Because that's free will, and free will is good, right? We want to enjoy free will.
Does anyone feel like no? I mean, Mr. Weaver.
Like it's beyond the literal example. It's a suggestion.
Points it out, they may know a little bit better. They were trained to be at this elite level.
And he's also, it's not only a suggestion, but he's also monitoring how she responds to the suggestion. How did she respond? Shame we can't see her.
You're not going to believe the 12 people. You're going to believe
What
you
I
said.
see.
Okay,
Help me out.
all right. If 10 people get up here and say, I see a microphone, in that, if 12 people get on the stand and say, I'm looking at Josh Dubin and he is not holding a microphone in his hand. But what do you see?
They're holding the microphone.
You just exercised free will, didn't you? You're not going to believe the 12 people. You're going to believe what
What
you
I
said.
see, yes.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
All right? Does anyone feel like no? I mean, Mr. Weaver points it out. They may know a little bit better. They were trained to be at this elite level. You're all the ones that are going to be here deciding Mr. Adelson's fate. Not the witnesses, not Mr. Rashbaum, not Ms. Myers, not the prosecutors, you. You're the ones. Is anyone uncomfortable with that? At all? It's a big responsibility. Mr. King, are you comfortable with that? Anyone the slightest bit uncomfortable with that? Do you understand where I was coming from now? All right. I have one last question for the end of the day, and I cannot thank you enough for your attention to this. How many of you love to go to the dentist? Love it.
Oh, here we go, guys. This is priceless. $1 million dollars.
I love my dentist.
Yeah,
Okay.
my-
Please, by a show of hands, who loves their dentist?
I love the feeling of clean teeth.
Yeah,
You loved your dentist, but you don't like to go. All right. All right.
Lifelong dental trauma. My dentist is the best person on the planet.
Right.
I love the feeling when I leave.
All right. Who else? Okay. How many of you are like my 3 children? Well, at least 2 of them. How many of you say, you know what? I cannot stand the dentist. I hate going there. By a show of hands. Okay. Can you all put them up high so my colleagues can? All right. Because I'm going to ask you all. Mr. You can put your hand down now. Sorry. Mr. Adelson is a dentist. Do any of you feel, we're looking across the room a lot. Those were my hypotheticals, right? Do any of you feel that, these dentists, they cause me anxiety, it's painful, I don't like it, and therefore that will somehow transfer, even if it's a little bit.
He should ask, has anyone's dentist been charged with murder?
Even if you're like, oh, a dentist on top of it all? Does anyone feel that way? Mr. King, your hand flew up first. What, that the practice of dentistry is painful to humans, or?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm the one responsible for care of my teeth.
Do any of you have such negative feelings about dentists or had a negative experience about dentists that you might view Mr. Adelson negatively?
Yeah. These people are so angry at their own dentist that if they get a chance to put one away for life, they don't even need to listen to the evidence, right? I mean, what the fuck is this?
Have any of you ever read anything negative about dentists? Ms. Parker, we haven't chatted in
I don't feel strongly either or, you know, I dislike the dentist or I don't like the dentist, or I like the dentist. You know, if I have to go to the dentist, I gotta go to the dentist and get it done. Take care of it.
Ms. Spates, how's the dentist for you? Okay. I'm not going to belabor the point. I just wanted, I've had it happen before where someone's like, they're that occupation. I just got a negative vibration, and that's that. All right. No one feels that way? All right. I said it was my last question, but I am in his honor's domain, so to speak. So I see that we're going to 6:15. I have 3 more minutes. Is it all right if I squeeze in a few more?
Well, you're going to be on a hard count, but 6:15 it is. Go ahead.
I'm gonna pick the one that.
Don't. I only have. There are 3 minutes left. Is it alright if I squeeze in a few more Donnas? Like, he went above and beyond. He's the best.
Causes me to have a soft link.
You know, these guys, Josh Dubin and Daniel Rashbaum, not only do they know the art of closing the deal, convincing, to get the job, they're also pretty good at falsely demonstrating that they were worth the money. At no point do we hear the Adelsons go, and Josh Dubin, what the fuck was that?
How many of you feel that everybody deals with death the same way? Okay.
What the
Who here
hell?
has an expectation?
Who would answer yes to that? I mean, that's like a really common term of phrase, isn't it? Everyone deals with death differently. I mean, but that's ingrained in everybody. How many of you feel that everybody is already dead?
About how someone should act when they hear that a family member has passed away. How many of you have
How many of you would hold it against my client if you found out that he went out for a celebration dinner with the decedent's ex-wife 3 weeks after the killing, murder, slaying?
experienced the passing of a family member and one of your other family members doesn't cry?
Yeah.
Okay. How many of you found that odd? How many of you found it odd, weird? How many of you have had the experience when a family member passes away and the other family member gets right back to their normal routine?
Everybody handles their grief.
Okay. What about funerals and memorial services? Is anyone here, if you hear that Mr. Adelson did not attend the funeral or memorial service of the victim, how many of you are going to say, that's suspicious to me?
No.
Any of you? Why not, Mr. Jordan?
I mean, I know me personally, I don't like this, so if I can skip
Even if it's a family member?
someone I'm not close with,
Who disagrees and says, you know what, I'm always going because it's the respectful thing to do? It's fine if you feel that way.
I'll do that for direct family, but,
I'm going to pick up on this tomorrow. Ms. Brinkley, you sat up in your seat and you're
Yeah,
inching closer.
I didn't go to my grandmother's funeral, and I didn't hear what the rest of it had to say about it.
Why not?
because I wanted to remember her the last time we had a conversation. I don't have no knowledge of her being in a casket. And there were other family members that, that's a shame, you shouldn't have done that, she raised you, look, I don't care. I want to remember her the last time we spoke.
All right, now I'm going to let go of the mic. It's at 6:15. Thank you so much for your time. Yeah, I appreciate you very much, and I'll be speaking with you again bright and early.
The attorneys can approach. Give me a moment, everyone. You'll be dismissed in a moment, but the attorneys can approach.
What a great shot. Look at that. Wow. We don't get shots like this. I got a screenshot that. I know I say this all the time, but just look at that hair. Where's Michelle? Michelle? I'm coming to Maryland. I want you to make me look exactly like Sarah Dugan, okay? I wonder what she had for lunch. Salmon. Smoked salmon. Wow, look at him. God, he looks like some alky that sleeps at the train station. Okay, now, bottle of Jim Beam. Doesn't he, though? He looks like an alky that's just developed a gambling problem as well. And he's lost. He bet his last bottle of Jim Beam, and now he doesn't know what to do. It is, the audio's not playing, guys, because it's a sidebar, but we can just watch. What should we do after, though? We've got about 4 minutes of Charlie's skin condition. Jesus, look at it. Oh. It's the same sort of porous texture as this chair back in front of him. All these little holes. What do you call that? Not dimples, but what is that called? Like wadding or something? What is it called? Divots, thank you. That's the word, Michelle. You know what I find funny? In a situation like this, where they're all there, close up, everybody there can smell everybody else, you know? Dan Rashbaum's wearing something. Dubin's wearing something. Sarah, Georgia. I'd love to know what they're all wearing in terms of eau de toilette. And then we could go to the perfume shop and get all the bottles and recreate the scene like for a blind man. The sheriff's deputy is probably smelling the best. What's wrong with Hugo Boss? That's what I have. Now I'm going to think about him every time I put it on. No, I reckon Rashbaum is a dupe. Dupe man. Disgusting. What happened there, Tallahassee Democrat? Crazy Democrat, crazy Democrat. All right, I think that's it. Wow, what an image. What do we do now? Well, I guess we could go to some wiretaps, or maybe we should just watch an old Metrix show. One that already has commentary. And then I can just be part of the audience. Let's see what we got. Unless anyone's got an idea. Unless anyone's got a request, an idea. I'd say wiretaps, but the thing is with the wiretaps, I never know until I've labeled them all properly. We could go round and round and just replay old stuff that we've recently heard. That'd be a nightmare. Pinto says, Frank, I want to know your feelings on this extension. All right, well, let's do a full show on that tomorrow, yeah? Put it on the calendar. Might have to be a bit of an earlier show because I got to do something Wednesday morning. But we'll definitely do that. I'm going to write it on this notepad and make it official, Pinto. Pinto requests hearing / continuance report. Tuesday, May 6th. You got it, Pinto. How about this one? Can we watch this one?
Fucking A, bro. I'm gonna fucking fuck up where the fuck you fucking with me.
Hey, Dankeschön. Thank you, Pinto, for those 5 cups of coffee on buymeacoffee.com. How about this one, guys? I'm trying to get this one to have some exposure because I think it's good. It's a short show, 1 hour show, and I think that's good, you know. I think it might be better than doing a 4-hour show all the time, or a 5-hour show, 6-hour show. Remember that one recently where we went for 10.5 hours? What the hell? Who does that? Metrix. Where is it? So is anyone going to object if we just put this one on? These two boneheads. Fucking A, bro. Isn't she great? Well, if there's no desperate objection, I'm going to put it on. I think it would be interesting. Maybe we can comment on our own comments. Oh, look at this. We're still using StreamYard way back when we were but you know what, the audio on this video is so good, so clear, because it's when we were in the van, you know, and we were surrounded by wood and cushions. What better to soak up the sound? Reverb. We share the tab. Let's share the tab. These guys have got a big problem with homeless people. Oh. So what? You're dressing up as them, or what? If I saw these two with a little paper cup outside a supermarket, pushing a supermarket trolley full of soda cans, I wouldn't think twice about it. I'd go, well, they live on the street. Let's give them some money. Oh, the worst thing you can do to two young guys that have a vendetta against vagrants and transients is go up to them and offer them $1. Would you like something to eat? Don't spend it on booze. Yeah, so these guys, we've got Corey Fitzwater over here. He's about 35 years old, veteran, returned from Afghanistan, returned from Iraq, 2 tours. And then 27-year-old Dalton over here, who looks up to Mr. Fitzwater, looks up to him real tall, and, maybe wants to emulate him. Didn't go to Desert Storm, didn't go to Afghanistan, but does have a gun that his uncle made for him or something. He's got this sentimental thing about his gun. I can't remember. It's a carbine. Is that the name of a gun? I don't know. He's going to tell us all about it. He's got this sentimental attachment to the gun that he was going to trade Corey for the gun that they used to kill Brian Racine. If we've got a picture of Brian, here's Brian, okay? Now, Brian was down on his luck, and had heard about some sort of LDS, Jesus Christ and Latter-day Saints community up in Utah. So he was traveling there where he knew that he might be able to get some help, join a community, and have a place to stay and a job. Maybe he could start getting things set up. So he was just hanging around Ogden, Utah. I think he was from out of town, so he didn't really know anybody. And then Corey Fitzwater and Mr. Aiken over here start harassing him in the town, saying, you need to go. So Brian felt a little unsafe, so he started hanging around in a park with a group of other homeless people, where they kind of stick together, watch each other's back. They had a campfire in the park. They'd all sleep next to the campfire. They'd share food and help and all sorts of stuff like that. But when these guys came to the park to smoke some blunts and to have some beers, they were walking around, saw the campfires, and just couldn't take it anymore. They were like, right, there they are, in our park, in the park, our park. We're going to take care of this right now. And they walked over to him, and the bunch of the group of the homeless people that were all part of this group had gone to, I don't know, dumpster dive or to pick something up. It was pretty late. I think it was 2 a.m. And it was just Brian asleep on his own by the campfire. And these two, well, one of these two takes out a gun and shoots him in the head while he's asleep next to the campfire. I mean, that's balls of steel right there, isn't it? That's how to prove you're a man. And then they ran off back to their car, which had already been found before the gunshots by the cops. They'd left a huge bag of weed on the front passenger seat of the car. So the cops were like, yeah, we got some guys that are smoking a load of weed here. We'll wait in the shadows. Sure enough, minutes later, after the gunshot, these two knuckleheads come running back into the car and drive away. And then the cop car follows them, stops them, searches them, sees the weed, sees the beer bottles or cans, and finds the gun under the seat. Brings them in for questioning for the weed, right? For driving around with weed. So we don't get to see Corey Fitzwater's interrogation. I don't think it's ever been released. But tonight, we are going to be watching. It's pretty short. The whole thing is about only half an hour long, so we'll see how we get by. Dalton's interrogation, right? Here he is, the man himself. And it's kind of funny because for the first it doesn't take him long to get what's going on, because he starts off the interview thinking, yeah, this is just about some weed. This is just about driving with the weed, and I'll probably be out of here before dawn. Well, it becomes...
Thanks, Lee. I appreciate it. And yeah, I missed the commercials. Maybe we should bring them back or get a sponsor. Who's going to sponsor us? What about, give me a product. Any product. Tobacco. Okay. 93% of all doctors say that you should smoke Pueblo tobacco. The healthy man smoke. You never see that, do you? You never see YouTubers advertising tobacco. Why is that? It's pretty clear that these cops aren't talking about weed. They don't care about weed. That's why it says homicide detective on the door, you knucklehead. Okay, so that's basically a small intro. Am I still asleep? Welcome to everyone in the chat. Sorry we're late. I hope no one had a panic attack. I hope everyone's feeling calm, safe, and secure in the Metrix community. Okay, let's play the video, guys.
Alright, man, so got a few things I would like to quickly talk to you about. You are obviously in custody, so gotta do the Miranda before I can do that for you, okay?
Okay, bearing in mind, guys, this guy is baked, stoned beyond belief, maybe a little drunk as well. I don't know, but in England, they wouldn't interview you while you were that messed up. They'd put you in a cell and make you wait for 8 hours. But things may be a little different in Utah. But anyway, you're obviously in custody. Can I just blink one time yes, twice for no? Blinking? Can I blink? I don't think I can blink anymore, sir.
So you have the right to remain silent, and he said he's against the court of law. You have the right to talk.
Just try and sort out these levels, guys. We got good levels? Okay.
And have a present with you or be questioned. If you can't afford to hire a lawyer, I want to be 100% before any questioning if you wish. You can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements. Do you understand each of these rights I've explained to you? Yes. Having these rights in mind, you should talk to us now. Talk to you? Yeah, me and the detective. Yeah, I got no problem with that.
We're simply looking to get your side of the story, what's going on here, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Another one of these suspects that's like, yeah, talk to you. Sure, I got all night. I got all night for you guys because I'm innocent. So this must be pretty easy to talk to you. I shouldn't clam up. That's just what a guilty person would do. A suspect.
That's it,
Yeah, we haven't heard what you got to say yet.
I can't do that until we get through that part. So let's just start off. What will you tell me about what was going on this morning?
Let's see. I got pulled over and I had marijuana.
Okay. What about before the traffic stop? What were you doing?
Oh, we were walking in the park.
By the park, you mean like the pond and the trail and all that?
Oh, we were walking in the park, walking in the moonlight. Yeah, 2 a.m. You know, at the exact same time that someone got his head blown off. Just one of those late night walks in the park.
Yeah, what do they call it? The old Indian place where the rivers meet.
Familiar with that? Got a fancy term. Do you know what?
Yeah, it's right there where Dubin and the Weaver River meet. But you're on that whole trail complex that's back there behind the one you went in. I think I know where you went in, to where you go across the bridge and the trail goes up and down both ways, right? Okay.
Yeah, so let's see. So if you cross that main bridge at the parking lot, and then you just kind of keep going straight-ish, and then
Oh, I just realized that our current comments are overlaying. Look, we've got double comments. It's kind of cool. Imagine if... I wonder if we've got anyone in this live that's happening right now that was in the original. What if they post a comment at the same time in the video that they posted a comment on the old version? What happens then? I think Dalton's beard will fall off if that happens.
that curves to the right.
Yeah, right there where the two rivers come together.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And you were with, who were you walking with?
Corey Fitzwater.
You know, already something's up in this interrogation room. I got pulled over and I had marijuana. Yeah, and what were you doing that night?
What part of the park? What about the old Indian place where the rivers meet? What about that place? I think I know where you went in. You went down and then sort of to the right. Could you see the freeway? Could you see the freeway from the park? No, those questions wouldn't happen for a traffic stop, right? You wouldn't even be in an interrogation room. You got the weed? Okay, well, we're taking the weed. We're going to write this little thing on your record. Here's a small penalty, and you're free to go.
Family, friend? Yep.
No, this guy should be having alarm bells right now. There's probably a big one ringing in his head. He just can't hear it because he's so baked.
Family, friend, exactly. Oh, what time do you think you guys got out there? Oh.
Just check that out a second, guys. The cop is like, so this Corey Fitzwater, is he family, a friend? And Dalton has this kind of interesting answer. Goes, yeah, he is a family friend. Oh.
And you were with, who were you walking with?
Corey Fitzwater.
Is he family, friend?
Yep, family friend, exactly.
Oh, what time do you think you guys got out there?
Hi, Cosmic. Excuse me. This is an old video from Utah, and we're watching it because tonight's video was a short one, and I need something to do for an hour. So if you want to join us, you can. But yeah, it's not an Adelson case, or maybe it is. Maybe this was the guy that was really behind the extortion.
Oh, it was late. We just got done busting up concrete for his neighbor with the sledgehammer. So we were kind of having a good time, you know. But I think it was 2 to 3.
Okay. Somewhere.
We're talking AM, right?
You guys working that late busting concrete too?
Well, we only busted concrete till about 12. They had it jacked up when they were trying to bust it, and it just would bust off a little piece every time. So we just started going to town, and it just all went.
It's good therapy, right?
Yeah,
Therapy. Yeah, we were busting up the concrete. Just two guys with sledgehammers busting up the concrete. Therapy. Yeah, and I hate that kind of talk, you know, that kind of guy talk. Therapy, good therapy, right? Smashing up the concrete. I can never do that. I love smashing up concrete as much as the next guy, but to talk about it in that way, not a fan.
Where's that neighbor? Where does that live at?
The what?
Where was that at? Against the concrete.
So it'd be kitty corner in his backyard.
The word is so neighbor. If it's neighbor of Corey's.
Yes.
Where does Corey live at?
By Hoagie's.
Oh. Okay, so you guys are busting concrete. I'm not gonna. So, what I'm talking about, I'm not worried about the marijuana or none of that. Okay, so that's all I'm interviewed for. So you guys break concrete. You guys normally go to the river to. So I'm assuming happens go there for you to drink beer, smoke a blunt, and walk. But it's beautiful out there, right?
Hey, Dalton, that was your cue, man, to lawyer up, okay? We're not here about the marijuana guy. We're not here to talk to you about marijuana, driving, or even driving drunk. We're here about something else. You see, that would be his cue, but he's seeing pink elephants right now.
Yeah, okay. Is that something you guys normally do? Like
No.
a thing for you?
Yeah. We usually just hang out.
Or how far do you guys walk around the trail?
I think I had the freeway in sights, at least. Like when you take that turn off in the distance, you can see the freeway.
Mm-hmm. Do you guys see anybody else on the trails or?
Yeah.
Hey, Casey Jacobson. Is it Jacobson? I think it's Jacobson. Yeah, what time is it for you? It's 4:01 here. 4:01 a.m. I was asleep, but now I'm awake, and I did promise you all a Sunday fun day, even if it's going to be a little quieter tonight because we're not doing Adelson case, we're not doing Boone case. Hey, I was just over on Carl Steinbeck's channel, and someone in the comments, he was going through the comments, and someone in the comments asked about the Sarah Boone case, and Carl Steinbeck was like, "Oh yeah, I think I heard of that one. You know, I thought it was already at trial, but I think it's just in pre-trial." Carl, get with the program, man. Big news. I know you've got a fantastic, legendary channel, but really, cover the Boone case. You know, it's coming right after Donna, and all the way up. All the way up.
Other late night revelers or transients or
Campfires.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a bit like the Michael Dunn case when he's looking for confirmation from the detective, and he's like, "Well, we pulled into the parking lot at the gate gas station, and the music starts." Mike Dunn's like looking for the detectives to go, "Oh, the music starts. Oh, we know what you mean. We're taking." And now Dalton Aiken here is like, "Yes, campfires, transients." They have this pathological hatred for homeless people. That's why they shot at this guy in the head, right? Pathological hatreds, like, "Oh, they're taking up space. They're look at them all taking up space and using resources." Man, you live in Utah. There's nothing but space.
So I would assume transients. Right?
Yes, I would assume transients. Doesn't he? He says it with this disdain. You can hear it in his voice. Yeah, campfires. Transient campfires.
And forgive me, I think he knows this area better than I do. So you guys park in the direction. So when you first say you're walking, are you going east, north? How does that trail split off? You can.
Yeah, so it'd go. Let's see, that would be south, and then it heads to the west.
Still leaning in with the body language. Nothing to hide. Easy. The detective has just told you, Dalton, that they're not here about the marijuana, the booze, or the driving. Your next question should be, what are we here for, if you don't already know? Okay? What are we here for? Why are you asking me if I went east through the park? And about these transients?
So, and how long? So you guys get there, you think around 2 to 3?
Yeah.
How long did you guys were out there for?
Oh, enough to smoke a little, basically.
Sure. Like hour, half hour? I know it's hard to tell time. But
half hour.
Did you guys hear any commotion or anything up there?
Well, I kind of have a feeling that I know what you guys are after. Like, did someone get killed? I mean, so I heard a gunshot, for sure.
Kind of a weird question, right? Why would you ask if someone got killed? You heard a gunshot. You could just say, is this about that gunshot that we heard? Because we did hear a gunshot. We thought it was weird. But we didn't know what it was. Did something happen? Did anyone get hurt? You know, not, did someone get killed?
That's just that vibrates, let us know it's still working. Where we haven't heard the gunshot, I mean, relatively speaking.
So when you start heading towards the west, there's like a weird vinyl fence. Like if they got voltage up across it, you're not supposed to cross it. Well, it's about right there. I think it's a junkyard if you cross the fence right there.
What did you see hear or smell after the gunshot?
Nothing. Yeah, just that.
What did you guys do?
Well, we're kind of country. I guess we didn't even pay no mind to it, to tell you the truth.
Niti asks, does this guy have a neck? Well, we have to assume yes. It's just that his neck hasn't seen the sun in 4 years. It's probably translucent by now. It's just you can see right through his neck to the, you know, if you're looking from the back of his neck, you would look through his neck to his beard. And if he spread his beard apart at the bottom, you would probably see the light shining through his neck. I mean, if you've got this pathological hatred of the homeless, why do you look homeless? What is he trying to blend in and go undercover or what? Like, what is the deal with that? Get a decent shampoo, okay? A nice shampoo, Dalton. That's what you need, okay? Wash your hair and a little mustache comb. You know, they sell those at the drugstore now. Little mustache comb. We can. You want a beard? That's fine, Dalton. But we can clean it right up.
I thought it was weird so late, but yeah.
Did you guys just continue on your way? Did you start? Okay.
No, sorry, I missed it.
So did you guys continue just walking the direction you're going? You guys?
Yeah, we turned around about when you hit that fence with the voltage, and you can see the freeway.
Okay.
Just walk back.
When you say by that fence, does that mean you were by the fence, or that's where you heard the shot?
I was by the fence.
You was by the shot. Where did you hear the shot?
If I had to pinpoint the shot, would have came from, oh, what's that business? The mechanical place, HVAC place, Mountain Valley Mechanical. I bet that's, I think, where.
What direction is that from where you're at?
Let's see. It's right on that hard turn where it says 15 miles an hour. That's where I think it probably was.
Okay.
Because that's where that Rocky Mountain Mechanical is.
So,
Ian, I've got to give you some kind of an award. Your comments have been dynamite lately. What did you say yesterday? Oh man, you made me spit almonds all over the keyboard and computer screen. Covered in almonds. Oh yeah, it was that if anyone saw our stream yesterday, guys, with the Adelson employees, there was the white lady called Clarissa Labredo. And she was really, really weird on the stand. And there's often some talk in the Adelson story among the comments community about what actor should play who in the movie. And Ian came in and said that he nominates Jack Black to play the part of... to play the part of Clarissa Labredo. And it was just, it really made me laugh. Thanks so much, Ian. And yeah, the new Hangover movie is a bit dark.
you say you were by the vinyl fence and you heard it by the hard turn. So you think it was to the north of you then?
Let's see. So, yes, exactly. Yeah.
I love that bit. He's like, is it north or south or southeast? And he goes, let's see. And then turns his whole body. And he's like transporting himself back to the park and goes, yeah, that sounds right.
So you say you were by the vinyl fence and you heard it by the hard turn. So you think it was to the north?
Yeah, when you're this baked, man, you have to really take yourself back to the vinyl fence, don't you? You know.
Let's see. So, yes, Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
And so how much longer so you hear the shot, you guys finish whatever you're doing to get back to the car. How long do you think that took?
20 for the hike back. Probably not pretty close.
Okay. It's hard to be exact out there. Then you guys immediately got in the car, started and left, or did you guys hang around in the parking lot for a little bit?
No, we just left, got pulled over real quick. Didn't take long.
Did you guys go on to any of the camps while you were down there?
Like the homeless people? No, we actually never came face to face with any of them.
Oh, hang on.
There's
More disdain, more seething rage. There were homeless people taking up space.
Did you guys go on to any of the camps while you were down there?
Like the homeless people? No, we actually never came face to face with any of them. Just there's a time.
Well, that's lucky, Dalton, because everybody knows that if you're unfortunate enough to actually come face to face with a homeless person, you will spontaneously combust. Very dangerous. It's important never to look directly at one, like the sun. Homeless people are like the sun.
Just to the fires. Do you know any homeless people that live out there?
I do not.
Yeah, what are you saying? What are you saying? What, you think I would hang around with a homeless person just because of my beard? Just because of my messy, homeless-looking, vagrant appearance? Do you know any homeless people that live out there? I do not. Thank you.
Sometimes I kind of look like it.
All right. So next question I have for you is the firearm that they found you with, that's 6 hours, is that right?
The what?
The gun you had in your car? Where did you get that?
I'm sorry, I missed it again. The what?
The gun you had in your car?
Oh.
Yeah, funny. As soon as we get to damning questions, you're hard of hearing. The what? What? I missed it. What? The firearm, buddy. The gun you had in the car that matches the gun that was used to shoot someone in the face. Where did you get it? The what? Say what?
All right. So next question I have for you is the firearm that they found you with, that's 6 hours, is that right?
The what?
The gun you had in your car? Where did you get that?
I'm sorry, I missed it again. The what?
The gun you had in your car?
Oh, yeah.
Where did you get that?
So that's Corey's.
Okay.
Yeah, the gun. Yeah, no problem. I can talk about the gun all damn day. It's Corey's. Yeah, that's his gun. It was on me, but it was his gun. Yeah.
Do you know how long Corey's had it for?
No clue.
Did you guys take that with you when you were doing your walk?
No, I had some bullets in my pocket from earlier, but so we were shooting it earlier, but we didn't take it.
Where were you guys shooting at?
Wes Warren. His parents and a pretty good pad out there. Just lots of country. Just your targets. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, that's what these guys were doing this evening before they went to the park to smoke a blunt and drink some beers and shoot a homeless guy in the face. What they were doing with their evening guys was hanging out, breaking up concrete, doing a bit of work on the property, having some beers. I think he says that Buddy Corey Fitzwater was about 10 beers deep, and Dalton was about 5 beers deep, and they were breaking up concrete. Good therapy, right? That's what the cop said. And then they would often shoot, tin cans, target practice, and they'd get a kick out of it. They said that they liked shooting in the dark. They felt like Batman. That's what they said. They felt like Batman. But this night, they didn't feel like Batman at all, right? They felt like losers. They were like, what are we doing? What are we doing? We're shooting tin cans. This is not doing anything. This isn't helping the community. We need to help the community, and we need to go and shoot a homeless guy in the face when he's asleep by a campfire. Because why? Because he's taking up space and using resources. Okay. Be somebody, baby.
Was Corey's gun, was it Corey's ammo too?
Yeah. Yeah, I actually tried, we were going to make a trade. I took him my Universal, 30 caliber carbine Universal. So we were just on a gun kick, kind of on a trading thing.
You're going to trade the carbine for the...
I was thinking about it, but he never could talk me into it because it's my uncle's that made, there's a PT Cruiser that's so fancy at Frank Mares in Lagoon.
I've got kids, I should go down there, but I don't.
But he built it, so it's kind of close to me.
Yeah, something like that.
I've played that about 4 times, and I still don't get what he said. Something about a lagoon and his uncle building a gun. And I kind of like learning about these guns. This is a 30 caliber Universal carbine. I wouldn't have known that. I thought it was a pistol. I have no idea about guns. Why? Because I'm not an American. Okay. But yeah, so he was going to trade this for the gun that they used to kill the homeless guy, Brian Racine. Okay.
So you guys ever any camps down there? You don't know any... Were you and Corey together the whole time? Did you guys ever break up to go take a leak?
Did you guys just see Kim in the comments? Before she lost her mind. God, I wonder what she's up to now.
I guess there was a few leak breaks, probably. Yeah. But no, we were pretty much together.
A few leak breaks in 30 minutes? What are you, a fucking camel? Oh, just on the subject of camels, guys. Soap, our resident sound controlist, the chocolate cake colored Labrador, met her very first camel the other day. Just in the street, there was a camel. She didn't think very much of it at all. She was pretty upset to see it. We're lucky that it was only a dromedary and not one of those ones with 2 humps. I think that would have been a whole different story. But yeah, it was, you don't see a camel in the street every day, and there one was. I know. I'd love to go into the brain of a suspect in these silent moments when the 2 detectives are just looking at the notes, looking for the next question. It's already heated up a bit. We've gone from marijuana to driving to being stopped to what did you do that evening? Now we're on to the gun section, okay? And Dalton, his body language is about to change in a moment, guys. Remember at the beginning, he was leaning right in. He's just had his sandwich. He's just had his bottle of water. And he was leaning right in like, yeah, I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you all damn day, detective. And then by the end of this interview, he's leaning so far back into the wall that he looks like he's going to fall through the wall right into his cell.
So when you guys were separated for whatever, going to take a urinate or whatever, did Corey leave you? Did you leave Corey?
I think I left him once. He left me once. I mean, not leave.
Right, out of sight. Yeah, go do your business.
Well, it's not going to be out of sight, is it? You might turn and face a bush. It's 3 a.m. in a wooded park. What are you going to do? Say, okay, I'm going to go for a piss. So I'll be about 200 yards over there, and I'll be back in about 7 or 8 minutes. You can turn and piss in the bush.
Is there anything else that was going on out there that you think about?
It's not enough time to have an alibi. Yeah. Corey ran off to have a piss, and then I heard the gunshot. And he came back, and he was sweaty and puffy.
Been weird or odd or struck your senses is kind of...
Yeah, the whole night, man. Like, it just gave me a bad feeling. Sure as heck showed up as a bad one.
Can you articulate that at all? Like, what do you mean?
I mean, kind of like the Holy Ghost, I guess. Just someplace you shouldn't be right then.
I don't know. It was probably about 4 years ago that I first saw this interview. I've never understood what he was trying to say there. The whole night, man, just gave me a weird feeling like a bad night, and it sure as hell showed up as a bad night. Kind of like the Holy Ghost, there's just some places you shouldn't be. Never understood that. But he was talking about the old Indian place. I don't know what that means exactly, but maybe there's an Indian ghost or something running around the park. Does that happen in Utah? It did seem kind of supernatural the way he described that. I don't know what he was trying to say.
And the bolts you had in your pocket, those were unfired rounds?
Correct.
Like we do, you just throw 50 rounds in your pocket and goes to the low layer out there?
Yeah.
What was Corey thinking about? Was he saying anything? How was Corey last night?
Yeah, he was upset. His wife was accusing him of cheating on her, which he claims for sure hasn't. But it makes him think that she is. That's what he told me. So yeah, we were venting that night for sure. I was kind of there for him.
How was Corey when he's upset? Is he calm? Does he get a little angry?
He gets a little angry, but I think it's his war stuff. His Iraq, PTSD.
Man, that's a nice dynamic for Corey and his wife, isn't it? She accuses him of cheating. He claims that he isn't, but that makes him think for sure that she's cheating on him. Man, just leave. If your relationship's that bad, just leave it. It's done. It's done. It's not worth it, man. just go.
I think he's retired. He's retired and he's like 30 years old. He's got a Purple Heart.
Give him commends for that. Yeah. That sounds like it didn't come cheap, obviously. You know Corey's wife pretty well.
Yeah.
Are you married, kids? Pretty life. How old are you?
20, turning 28. How much
Still young. Still gonna enjoy it while you can. Okay, so an area of concern.
What was that? Let's just hear it again. I was just busy looking up what a purple heart medal meant.
I think he's retired. He's retired and he's like 30 years old. He's got a Purple Heart.
Give him commends for that. Yeah. That sounds like it didn't come cheap, obviously. You know Corey's wife pretty well.
Yeah.
Are you married, kids? Pretty life. How old are you?
20, turning 28. How much
Still young. Still gonna enjoy it while you can.
Yeah. Man, rhetorical question. Are you married? Have kids? I wouldn't have even need to ask that. It's a clear no. What does he say? Yeah, free life, free lonely life, pathetic life. All I do is shoot tin cans, break up concrete until I get bored, and then I turn into a vigilante by night and murder an innocent homeless man who is sleeping. Yes, that's my life. Free life.
Okay, so an area of concern or question that we have. So you guys were there.
Oh, yeah. Area of concern. Okay. His stoned brain goes, cross your arms now. Cross your arms. Protect your body. Protect your upper body from that very dangerous question. There's a dangerous question coming. It's developing over time. It's breaching the crest of the hill, and now we can see it, and it will be here in any moment. So you better fold your arms, Dalton. Okay? Difficult question on the horizon.
Well, you can. Okay, so an area of concern or question that we have. So you guys were there. How do I want to word this? We find in life there's a place where coincidence doesn't occur a lot. Usually if things happen and they seem tied together, they're most likely tied together somehow, right?
This is so weird, guys. I can hear Soap snoring on this video and in the room currently.
So would there be any reason why we would find a spent shell casing that matches the gun you guys had at the scene of what we're investigating?
I'm going to come clean right now, okay?
Thank you, because the forensic evidence tells us a story. You're not helping yourself.
Okay. So Corey did leave, and that's when I heard the gunshot. And that is it, man.
Case closed, everybody. That is it, man. Corey left. I heard the gunshot. That's it. What was in his mind right then? Do you think there's no more questions coming? I'm going to come clean right now. Hands up. Arms folded, hands up at the same time. Yeah, I'm going to come clean right now. Corey did leave, and that's when I heard the gunshot. And that is it, man. Yeah. He's cracked the case wide open.
And that's when we left, because I knew something bad happened, but he didn't say nothing.
How did he seem after?
Calm, I guess.
Like, Like, you know, you guys have been friends for a while? Okay. So post, when you're saying he left the gunshot and after, did you see him more almost relaxed? Yeah.
No, in this circumstance now, if what you're telling us is the truth, you're telling us you come clean, you're telling us this is the truth.
Yes. I'm telling
you need to get off any thoughts of protecting Corey.
Okay.
When we ask you questions and and things like that, well, I don't want to drag these out of you. You need to give us all the details. This is not a short story. This is a long story, right?
Okay.
So a short detail like I walked away, I heard a gunshot, I thought something bad happened. There's a lot of shit that went up before you walked away from him. There's a lot of stuff that went on after. You are thinking about you now. If you're telling us the truth, you're not protecting Corey anymore.
Right.
Because if you're not a witness, what are you?
Let's see, what would it be? A bystander?
No. No, we call
a bystander. Yeah, it's a pub quiz. It's a pub quiz now, Dalton. If you're not a witness, what are you? Give me a minute here. What do they call it? A bystander? Oh, man.
Call that police work a suspect.
Okay. Suspect and or accomplice.
Do you want to be a suspect, an accomplice, or a witness?
Well, I didn't do anything, so I don't want to be any of those.
No, what you want to be is a witness.
Okay.
I don't want to be any of those. Do you want to be a suspect, a bystander, a witness, or what was it? He gives him these options, and I think Dalton just wishes he could go home and break up some concrete and shoot a tin can. That's what he wants to be right
fucking
now.
A, bro. I'm gonna fucking fuck up whoever
This
the
night
fuck you
did not
fucking
go
with
as
me.
planned, did it, Dalton? What was the plan? You were just going to drive off? I mean, do you think about the impact of your actions before you do that? I mean, it's horrible what you've done, what you've been involved in, whether it was you or not, right? You guys.
Hey, thanks so much for the coffee, Lee. I really appreciate it. And if anyone wants to see Soap on her first sofa, or actually we're calling them Davenports now because we're fancy. Yeah, this is the first time we've had a sofa in our lives for about 6 or 7 years. Crazy, huh? Time flies. Where's the picture? Oh. And she's definitely making the most of it. She's making up for lost time. Soap on the Davenport.
You two knuckleheads have this little history. You're known. Your thing, your main kick in life is to go and rush on homeless people and say, you're taking up space. You're taking up space. What are you doing sitting there on the ground? What if I want to walk on that piece of ground and you're sitting there? Yes, you're using my resources. That's your thing, man.
Oh, thanks, Harley, who tells us that a Purple Heart is given when you are wounded by enemy fire in combat. I didn't know that, and I don't think anyone answered me the last time we did the stream. So now I know. Thanks, Harley.
Now look what happened.
Okay, right.
Yeah, you don't want to be an accomplice. You don't want to be a suspect.
That was it. So it was suspect, accomplice, or witness. I don't want to be any of those.
Witness.
Yeah.
Now you have potential to be a very good witness, or you could be resistive and not share with us all the details, which is going to make you an accomplice. Does that all make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay. So when we ask you things, even if you don't short.
I think Dalton thinks he's becoming an honorary, what do you call it? He's about to be deputized. Where's his badge and gun? He's a cop now. He's one of us. We just need to clean up this thing on his face. Oh, he was born with that beard. He came out with his mother's muff on his head. Was that too far? We don't need to bring his mother into this. God bless her. God.
Don't short the answers. And also, if we don't ask details and you have details, share them. Because you don't want anything to do with the end result of a man dying, right?
Yes, exactly. You understand, witness, it's a good role. Okay. Accomplice means you share punishment with the actor and themselves. And the courts don't differentiate. Yeah. If he shoots somebody and I'm there, and even if I know about it, and I don't do anything, I'm an accomplice and I share his prison sentence.
Mm-hmm. So you don't want to be that guy, right?
Correct. And I knew nothing about this.
So let's go back.
Okay.
You guys just didn't randomly be walking down a trail. He walks right and just decides to that camp.
And that's why I brought up his wife still, because I think really that's what it is, because I can't think of any reason.
Okay. Well, he wanted you to take him down there.
Yeah, who picked the spot to go?
Yeah, it's not going to be good for you.
Okay.
You're going to say that you guys randomly showed up at a random spot to randomly smoke some marijuana, ran into a random camp, and shot some guy.
Yeah, that sounds bad.
Yeah. No, I'm thinking what happened.
It does sound bad, doesn't it? I mean, you guys showed up to a random park to randomly smoke some marijuana and then randomly shot a random homeless person.
What happened was there was a reason you guys went there. The guy that was there, you knew, or Corey knew. Corey or you knew he was there. So you guys went down there to deal with that. Now I understand you not wanting to be involved in the actual process of it, but there's something that led you guys to that spot. I refuse to believe you. I mean, Corey.
This is exactly how it went, guys. These two knuckleheads, they were shooting the tin cans at Corey's parents-in-law's property somewhere remote, and they said, "This is bullshit. This is bullshit. Look at us. We're losers. We're losers. We need to take care of business. We're going to that park, and we're not coming, but we're taking names. You know, we're going to kill the homeless. They're taking up space."
Some guy shot him.
Start from the truth, dude.
I'm kind of being serious. I think that's what happened. I think he literally just shot the guy. I mean, I know that sounds bad, but literally.
That's a hard sell in a court of law.
Yeah, it is.
When you're on the stand and we're trying to convince the jury that no, Dalton didn't have anything to do with this.
Oh, okay. I got you. It's his PTSD stuff. I don't think this is the first time it's happened, but I think it's something to do with that.
Okay, so what did Corey say before he shot?
He really thinks the cops are trying to work with him. Like, yeah, you know, when we're up there, you know, your fellow deputies trying to convince the jury of your innocence and that you have a neck under that thing. What are we going to say? And he's like, oh, I got you. We could go with the PTSD. It's like they're brainstorming now. Okay, he's on another planet.
Nothing. Like, it was...
What made you separate?
He went off the trail, and I followed him.
Okay.
And he shot the guy.
So you were there?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's one thing we want to make clear, that you guys didn't separate. You saw what happened.
Yeah.
So that's helpful because to say that he randomly walks away from you and does this, he walks off the trail towards a camp.
Yeah, and
does he say something about going to that camp? Is he pissed off at that camp?
No, he sees it.
Okay.
But no.
So you guys walk towards this camp, and it's random. You say Corey doesn't know this guy.
Yeah.
You don't know this guy.
Yeah.
So you walk into this camp. Did they say anything to you?
I think the guy was sleeping, to tell you the truth.
So the guy's in bed sleeping. Where's he at?
On the ground.
He's sleeping on the ground?
Yeah.
Is he in a tent, under a tarp,
Okay, I didn't know the conversation was going to go into this area, guys, but if anyone didn't know, muff is synonymous with bush. Okay? It's that region.
Just laying on the dirt, the sleeping bag?
Just the dirt, I think.
Okay.
I think.
So tell me, so You follow according to camp. Kind of tell me about the camp a little bit.
Okay. It was kind of hard to see because it was dark, and his fire looked like it pretty much went out.
Okay.
But there was a big tent by it.
Okay.
So there's a big tent there.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And you walk in, and you think he's asleep.
I don't walk in. He's asleep outside the tent. He's on the ground.
That's what I'm saying. When you walk into the camp, you believe he's asleep.
Yes.
Okay. And what does Corey say?
He kind of mumbles in like a drunk talk, like, how are you doing?
Corey says that?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Is he drunk?
Yeah, he probably was like 10 deep, probably.
10 beers?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Plus, have you guys smoked marijuana?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Okay, so we've got marijuana and beer. And you say mumble something.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah. And to the guy.
To the guy.
Yeah.
And then what?
Shot him.
What did the guy say anything to him?
I don't know. It's almost like I just didn't want. You know what I mean? And so I don't think I looked when he shot him.
Okay.
But if I had to guess, somewhere here.
Okay, so he shoots him somewhere in the upper leg. Then what?
Then he takes off running, and I don't know what else to do but run too, I guess.
Yeah, acapella, and of course Corey Fitzwater's in the other room with other cops doing the exact same thing. I mean, they just the old it was him.
Okay. Forensic evidence on the scene doesn't tell that story.
Okay.
The things that we can prove don't tell us that story.
Okay.
Okay. There was more to it.
Okay.
So
I'll try.
I'm going to quit dragging shit out of you, dude. We're good.
Seriously.
You need to tell us everything.
Okay. I'm trying. I really am.
Because there's more to it. But you need to understand that when we ask you questions, a lot of times we already know what those answers are.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you when you leave things out of the story.
Beaver, yes, Natey. Beaver, Muff, Bush. How do we get onto this, guys? We're talking about his beard and when he was born. And how he was born with a beard. And anyway.
It makes it look bad for you. Okay, so we need to stop that. Okay. So
where'd you...
I don't know if that could be counted as the cop influencing the suspect, witness, accomplice, whatever the hell it is we're calling him. He's like, yeah. What you just said, that's not going to play well in court. Try saying this other thing. That's what a witness would do. You want to be a witness, right?
You want to know? Because I
want to know the truth is what I want to know. But I know what all the evidence is. I know what the forensic evidence tells us. We know a lot of this story already. I want you to tell me that story. I want you to be honest with me and be a witness to this, not a suspect.
No, I just left that scene with CSI. Okay, yeah. I know exactly what happened there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he said there's more to it than just running away.
Because a lot of the things you're telling us.
Okay. Yeah. So I took off running. He took off running. I lost him.
Okay.
And I got to the truck and I had to wait for him for 25 minutes. I'll bet you. That's probably the part.
25 minutes is a long time, man. You would remember that. You should have kept that detail open. You should have said, I don't know how long I was waiting for him. It seemed like a long time, but I don't know. Time seemed weird at that point, you know? Not like, yeah, I bet it was exactly 25 minutes. 25 minutes and 33 seconds, exactly, because I checked on my phone.
It was missing, huh?
Well, I wouldn't say so.
And he said he ran into more people and fought him with his fists.
Okay.
Some more stuff happened in the camp.
That was away from the camp. That was somebody else.
No, in the camp.
He's asking you. He's making a statement to you.
More stuff happened in the camp after the shooting happened. That's what we're trying to get the truth about.
You guys didn't walk in banging and run away. There was more to it than that.
I promise you. Yeah. I really do promise you.
All right. Tell you what, we're going to give you a few minutes to think about it.
Okay.
Now, I don't want you to tell me anything that's not true.
Okay.
If you're telling me the truth, you stick to your story.
For sure.
But I don't believe your story. So we're going to give you a few minutes to think about how you want to proceed here. and we're going to come back in, and you're going to tell us the real story of what happened out there.
Okay.
Now, if it's the story you've already told me, fine. That's going to be your version of the truth.
Okay.
Unfortunately, the evidence is going to point to that.
This is bad. This a good defense.
Kate Bush, there you go.
Attorney would tear this cop's statements up. What did he just say? Let's try and recap that a second, okay? He said, I don't want you to tell me anything that's not true. I don't want you to tell me that anything that's not true, but I don't believe what you're telling me. So I'm going to go out, and I'm going to come back in. And if that's your story, if your bullshit story is the truth, you can tell it again. But then you're going to be under arrest. So I'm going to go out, I'm going to come back in, and you're going to say what a witness would say, which is what I want you to say, which is the truth, because I don't believe what you're saying now. Sloppy, I think. I think that's really sloppy. I think that's confusing. It seems directional, like he's directing the witness, suspect, accomplice.
That's not the truth. Oh, man. But I don't want you to lie to me.
Okay, I promise.
Okay, give us a minute, okay?
Yeah. We'll just leave that right there.
Okay.
Reckon this guy had a pile of dishes in the sink, or yeah. Pots of instant noodles. He's got pizza boxes, 25 boxes high. He's building a tower out of pizza boxes. What else would he have? Porn all over the kitchen table. Probably a small sword collection as well, like Stephen McDaniel. I think he could be buddies with Stephen McDaniel, right? Preparing for the zombie apocalypse.
I think we should go back and redo Stephen McDaniel. What a classic.
Prepper. He's prepping everybody. He's got fucking every kitchen cupboard in his house is full of tins of SpaghettiOs that never go bad. So he's fully prepared. He's got 45,000 rolls of toilet paper that he's been collecting for the past 8 years.
Hey, Dalton.
Hey.
Hey, we're actually going to be moving you over to Ogden City Police Department. I'm going to drive you over there.
Okay.
I'm Detective Haney. I work with the Sheriff's Office. I'm going to be taking you over. Since you're already been booked into Weaver County, I'll take you over there, and then I'll stay there until we've answered questions and stuff in Ogden City, and then I'll bring you back.
Okay. Cool. Good. I'll meet you over there, okay?
We're going to take your sandwich, too.
Awesome.
I got a handcuff you.
Okay.
Okay, stand up.
Yeah. You've got to take it in the room with you.
Put your hand behind your back. Yeah, we'll bring your sandwich. How was it?
Well, I'm having a tough time eating.
I'm having a tough time eating. Yeah, man. You should have eaten the sandwich. That's probably the best food you're ever going to have ever again in your life. Well, that was a short one, wasn't it, guys? Only an hour long. Should we quit it? It is 4:47. Let's get through these comments. Sorry.
4:47's fucking early. It's 6 o'clock now. This was back when we were, and I thought that was late.
Metrix. That's all right, Nitty. You don't need to apologize for anything, ever. You're a star player in this game.
And where the hell is Needy as well? She should come back. She disappeared and then she bobs up and down like a cork. She just pops up quickly and then she's gone. Pops up, she's gone. She should come back.
26. Oh, we got 100% likes. I haven't even looked. I was asleep for like 5 hours, and then I woke up and I was like, oh shit, I've let everyone down. But I made it happen. I made it happen. Yeah, quiet one. It's not the Adelson case. It's not the Boone case. We'll be back. This is a Sunday fun day, a chill day. Okay, guys. Okay. Just quickly wrapping up these comments here. Yeah. I think we'll cut it off there, guys. We don't need to go for the full 2 hours. But what happened next in this story? It's kind of...
No need for a goal today, Ryden. I just had to put I've been moving, so it's been really busy around here. So we had to put a quick show together with Josh Dubin. But I'm happy to report that the Metrix Beast put that out in about 30 fucking seconds. Whereas Mr. Pink over here, the previous laptop, would have taken about 6 hours. So we know as soon as we get settled, it's going to be great. The content is going to be so much better. Look forward to it, guys.
Not that known. We never got to see Corey Fitzwater's interview. Of course, he's in the other room saying the exact same thing about Dalton, going, yes, he ran away, and I heard the gunshot. Oh, talk about turning on your buddy. They all turn on their buddy, don't they? Anyway. Yeah, remember to leave a like on the video, guys. If you're new to the channel, we've got a Discord server set up, link in the description. Very good community building going on there, guys. And we've got Patreon, buymeacoffee.com.
Hey, fucking listen to the man. Listen to the man. Discord, link in the description. Hey, let's put it in the comments. I think everyone here is already on Discord anyway. No, it's dead quiet in the stream tonight, but that's okay because we did it real quick, and we're just about to go anyway.
Well, that's a whole thing. That's a whole thing. But if you want to support the channel, you can find out how to do that in the link for the description. And
yeah, Jane, the Dubin thing, I'm gonna do a non-commentary version tomorrow. I'll try and get the audio pucker, because it's not available. No one's got the full thing except us.
And what else? Social networks, Instagram, Twitter. It's all in the description, guys. All that information waiting for you to read. Okay, we're gonna close it off. We'll be back. Will we be back tomorrow? I've got a business appointment tomorrow, guys. I've got to drive a couple of hours east and then meet up.
Wow, it's like a diary of my life. What date was this? I don't know.
With this executive who's very, very happy with me.
She was.
Probably got a ton of load more new work to throw my way. How about that, huh? It's all coming together. So will I be on tomorrow? I don't know. There are some other things to take care of. So maybe. We'll see. Or Tuesday I'll be back. Catch you later, guys. Nice one. Love you all. Be kind to each other. Don't be an Adelson. Have a safe journey home. Laters.
Remember when we used to say that? Okay, we'll be back tomorrow, guys, with Pinto's special request of the let's do some comments on the recent Donna Adelson hearing and subsequent continuance of her trial. Have they set a date yet? I've been so busy I haven't checked. Yeah, that's what we'll be doing tomorrow. So look forward to that. Subscribe to the channel, like, share, leave a comment, hit the like button on the way out. Thanks to everybody. Thanks so much for everybody. And thanks so much for everybody who kindly contributed to this beautiful machine here. Beautiful. And it's going to be so good for the channel, man. We will see you tomorrow, guys. Okay, True Crime Metrix out.